Yeah, yeah.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Pain, and you're here with another episode of Love and Pain, where we talk about life, love, and everything in between. I'm your resident single girl host, or single gal host, Pain, and I'm here on a quest to find balance. Over here, we have the love doctor. Chuck, take it away.
What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, everybody had a nice weekend. I sure did. And, like I said, I'm going to go ahead, since I'm not going to be able to do it on Thursday, I'm going to go ahead and, do my weekly rant today. Okay. First off, I want to, say that, hey, patience is to suffer with someone long and hard. Okay. And you cannot be patient with someone unless you don't have any knowledge or understanding of their situation or themselves. Okay. So, like I said, you have to have went through a similar situation to understand the process of someone evolving. Like I see a lot of times where, like, if a woman has like a brother or a close family member that has went through like a struggle as a black man, maybe seeing him, get caught up in certain situations with the law, people hating on him, him not being able to get jobs and things like that, then they can't understand what it is for the plight of the black man because they don't have anybody that they can relate that to. And a lot of times, like I said on here, I've said some certain things that I couldn't relate to either. I've said something like, well, why didn't the lady just leave the abusive relationship? Because I couldn't understand that coming from a woman. And that's why we have two different views on opposite sides of people that can understand. Champagne is coming from the single woman perspective, and I'm coming from the reformed whore and happily married man perspective, which, so I can give, both things. I've been married, I've been divorced, I'm remarried, happily married now. I've been out here in the streets, and now I despise this type of activity. So now, we, like I said, me and Champagne's been through different trials and tribulations to come to this point, and we keep it real on this show.
Yes. Thank you for your rants, which I love every week. Please, please, please do not stop. If this is your first time watching us, thank you so much for watching us. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time we release a new episode. So let's get into it. What's up, Chuck?
What up? What up? We back. We ain't been on here in like damn near a month, it seemed like.
I know. You know what? Life be lifing. We got to hit this lottery.
I know. Yeah, definitely got to hit that lottery.
Then we could be on here a bit more. What you been up to? What's new in your world?
What's up? Not much up. This weekend I kind of relaxed. Football season just started.
Yeah,
so, it was the first week of football season. So it was just really nice to just sit back and enjoy football and everything. Because I think, when we started, it was like close to the Super Bowl when we actually started this YouTube channel. And then now it's coming back around again. And it's like, I mean, man, I'm telling you, them Sundays, they hit differently when football season is here. Trust me. So I had a nice time watching the games and stuff like that. And also, before I get started too, I want to send a happy birthday to my daughter, Imani. She just turned 30 today. And I want to just let you know that I love you, and hopefully I'll see you soon, and hopefully that your day is going really fine. And that's the thing about me staying out here on the West Coast. That's the biggest thing that I do miss is family. Being able to have access to family a lot easier. I only can see family normally like a couple times a year. So we have to plan it and things like that. So it's like, I can't just call and be like, hey, let's go out to eat, or, let's link up. It's a lot differently. That's the only thing that I miss about being so far away. But but like I said, happy birthday. I wish I was there. We're supposed to have some plans. Hopefully you still coming. So hopefully, we can still get together. But I love you, Imani. I love the person that you are. You've turned into a fine young lady, and you have a heart of gold, and I appreciate you. I love you.
Oh, happy birthday, Imani. Is it Imani? Did I say it right?
Yeah, Imani.
Okay, happy birthday. Wow, 30. You remember when you were 30, Chuck? I kind of remember. Oh, that was a milestone. A milestone birthday. I had a really good time. My best friends, they they planned like a really nice weekend. We had, we went here, we went there, a comedy show. Then I had a party surprise dinner. So that was a pretty special year. And it's kind of like your 20s. I mean, your 30s, not saying you figured it out in your 30s either, but your 20s, you definitely didn't have it together in your 20s. So it's like you get to step a little bit closer into who you are supposed to be as an individual. So a happy birthday once again. That's great.
That's right. Yeah, because your 20s, you're trying to find yourself. And I think by the time you get into your 30s, that was around the time I started my computer business and all that. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So yeah, I started. That's around when I was around 30. I might have been 29, but it's around that age. I think when you start to kind of figure out what you want to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? And all the partying and all that stuff, and you start being a little bit more mature.
Yeah, I knew that I didn't want to party as much, but I still party. I just didn't go as when you're in your 20s, you're going to like the club every other weekend. That was crazy. And then for me back then, I was so irresponsible. Like I'm buying new club outfits every single time we go to the club. Like chick people don't see.
You was for the streets.
I was for the streets. It was a time. What a time to be alive. And then I hit my 30s. And then and the crazy thing, like going to the club though, we danced. Like we were there to play. We were there to dance. So we're out here burning calories. So in our 30s, we was like, we need to go back to the club. We was like, yeah, let's go back to the club. So, we're like, we got to be in these streets. Yeah. Man, we went to the club one time and never went back. We was like, nah, it's just too much work. Right. It doesn't have the same fun like it did. So that's how I knew, like, okay, it was just not for me. I had outgrown the club. So, So what's going on in the news?
Okay, let's see. We're gonna go. We got a couple of them before we get into our topic today.
Okay.
First of all, we got to start off with this one right here. All right, James Earl Jones. We just found out that he passed away today. I don't know if it was today, but the news came out today. He just died at 93, and he was an iconic actor. Like he one of the all-time grand black actors, successful black actors that ever lived. I mean, he did the Darth Vader. He had a lot of range. He did that and I think my favorite was when he played in the Claudine movie. Like he was he was a garbage man in there, and he met a beautiful woman that had like 7 kids. You know what I'm saying? And and then he had his own kids, and they got him for child support. So he, with all his responsibilities, he was about to abandon them, but he ended up coming back. That's a classic movie. Some of you young folks, if y'all ain't never seen it, I'm telling you, Claudine, that's a classic. Check it out. I think that was his. For me, that's that's the favorite movie that I like from him, because I always when I catch a flight, I watch Claudine. That's one of my favorites.
Okay. Well, for me, mine's a little less dysfunctional. I liked Coming to America.
All right,
Coming to America. That one was a pretty great one. And then also just as a throwback to Child Me, when he played Mufasa, I always liked I liked the Lion King, and I liked the Coming to America movie, because he played the king or the head in both of them, and the queen was Sarabi. She played the same as the queen for Coming to America. And I want to say her name was Madge, but I might be wrong. I'm so sorry.
Madge Sinclair, I think, or something?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, okay. And she actually passed away way too soon. But I love their voices together because they both sounded so regal. So those were my two. So he's very well missed.
Right. Yes. So, man, R.I.P. You set a fine example, and we appreciate the work that you've done. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Let's get into some grimy stuff. All right. First of all, we got your boy Tyrese. He didn't.
I saw that.
He didn't got arrested. For unpaid child support. And this is played out through the in the public. His ex-wife. I mean, like the way it's set out, it seems like, I mean, we hear it mostly from his side, but it seems like there was never no true love. She gamed him and got the kid, and then she bounced around, and now she's trying to juice him for that money. I mean, as a child, you got to be more responsible. I think like when you're worth so many millions of dollars, man, and you can't really go all in, man, because you can't trust people, man. You have the religious ceremony and then maybe write a will or something. But I wouldn't. I'm telling you, I don't think I'd get married if I was worth that much money, because you don't know if somebody is true or not. And just like we was talking about with Coming to America, that's the only way you can really find somebody. You go incognito and you find somebody that really loves you for you and not for who you are or the type of money that you have, but man, these guys are targets, man. And I mean, these women running game, bro, and they getting theirs.
Yeah, they got to change up who they're going after. They're going after women who are set up like that. The whole, as long as I got money, I always have options. And that's true. But like, are they good options? He picked her based on the way she looked. And now it's coming back to bite him in his ass. He gotta do better.
Yeah. It's rough, man. Like I said, yeah. You they these Instagram models and this and that. And man, please, they hustling. That's a hustle. They had one on the hook. You know what I'm saying?
City girls, yeah.
Right. And then shoot, like he said he came to the crib and all his stuff was cleared out. You know what I'm saying?
She wasn't waiting.
Yeah. So once you had a baby, and it happens with NFL players and people that are, you can max out with the 2 kids. You had the 2 kids, you maxing out on that child support. And then that's the standard. You get that and you are set. So yeah, I think he was only paying $2,200. And I think he owes he got to pay like $73,000 to get out. He was just rebellious. He did not want to pay none of that money, boy. And I feel him. I mean, hey, it hurts, but bro, yeah, I mean, hey, that's what you believed in the wrong person, man. It's hard, man. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay.
Maybe he should spend less time crying online and more time paying his debts. This is just a thought. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay. All right, we got. Hold on. Got to talk about this one here. All right, Da Brat and Judy. Da Brat just filed for divorce on Judy. That's coming. Yep, she just filed for divorce on Judy. It's been rumored that Judy had an affair with a man and stuff like that, but that's been unconfirmed. I don't know that. But then Da Brat, it seemed like she's going back and forth. She said that Judy's evil. Now she's acting like the lesbian thing is not goes with the Bible. I mean, this is all over the place. So we really don't know the exact reason, but we just hearing a lot. But they're a high profile lesbian couple. And, and they said the way that went down, I don't know if you noticed too, that she used Judy's egg and somebody else, somebody else's sperm. And then Da Brat actually carried the baby. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But the thing is, this is my thing. Like, if you're going to get artificial insemination, at least have someone of your DNA. You ain't got no cousin or somebody that's got your DNA. Like when I was a boxing coach, right, there was these people from Cincinnati and there was this 2 lesbian couple. They brought in, they had a son together, but the son was by the films. It was or was it the Studs? It might've been the Studs' brother was actually, they used his sperm. So it would have at least some of the DNA with the other woman. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So at least somewhat that kind of like you, but you just, it's mixed with somebody else. You know what I mean? You carried it.
Well, you don't know what kind of cousin she got. It seems like they wanted a certain type of baby. She might have a bunch of knucklehead cousins. Like, nah, I don't want my baby to inherit none of that craziness. And I like that people think that. I have met this guy, and he actually didn't want to. He was a nice guy, but he didn't want to date any further because I still wanted kids at the time. And he was like, I have mental illness that runs through my family. I'm not trying to have children. I'm past the age where I really want it. And I respected that because, that's important. Like, I think that's an important decision you have to make. Do you want to, and it sounds so horrible, but if someone knows that they have a mental disability, or mental illness, like a schizophrenia, and that can be passed down, would you
Right.
still want to have a child? And some people be like, yeah, but some people feel like it's irresponsible. So that could be why she might not want to share the DNA. And like I said, I think they want like a super genius baby, like a baby that was born with high credit and high intellect at birth. I think that's what they were going for.
Bro, look here, man. That ain't no guarantee of nothing. I'm just saying, like, you could have in the same family, you could have a lawyer, you could have a trash man, you could have a crackhead, and the same exact DNA. Nothing's guaranteed, no matter what that person accomplished. It could have been the environment that they were raised in or whatever the case may be. I mean, just like like look at Deion Sanders' kids. I mean, they look like him, but none of them have his speed. They slow. Like he was a world-class sprinter, and none of his sons have his speed. So there's no guarantee. And even like LeBron's children, none of them they're not the thoroughbred that LeBron was. Are you kidding me? When he was like in the 8th, 9th grade, he was a grown man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And his sons, they're good basketball players, but it ain't nothing like LeBron. So that the way they do that, it's all about luck. There's no guarantee that you'll find someone that's going to be exactly how, there's no, unless you create, ain't they cloning people now? Unless you clone someone, there's no way that it's going to be the exact same thing. You might get lucky, but there's no guarantee.
Well, they're not looking for exact same thing. It's just a probability situation. If you have, for instance, all right, I wasn't raised around my dad, but when we get together, there's some characteristics or similarities or active and we've never grown up about it. So you have to believe it's DNA because I was never around him.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not saying it always happened, but if you have a greater chance of getting, that's why pharaohs back in the day used to sleep with family members because, you may be deformed, but if you have a chance to get a high intellect individual on your team, it's probably more important. Plus, they probably just killed the deformed ones anyway, so it worked out for them.
And they wanted to hide, they want a light skinned baby and stuff. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, they did. That is crazy. I don't know. Like, I'm not super shocked, but I am kind of surprised because it looked like I thought that they looked pretty cute together. But that's why we gotta stop looking at these celebrities as relationship goals because you can portray whatever you want on the internet and have all kinds of cockamamie things behind the scenes.
Right. I mean, shoot, like I said, this is the thing. Once somebody gets comfortable with the situation, they're going to become the person that they are. In the beginning, everybody's going to put on their best foot forward and be smiling and just be the perfect person, everything that you want to be, everything that you want, they're going to be that. But after they get comfortable with the situation and then day to day is like normal, then they had and it'll start coming out. Get away from me, or
that's right.
It'll just start. They'll just start becoming the person that they are. So yeah, man, like you got to be, there's no people. You got to watch people, man. It takes a while to vet somebody.
It does. What else you got? Anything else in the news? That's what you got?
Nope, that was it for today.
Now, honorable mention. I just don't want to go on without mentioning. Rich Homie Quan also passed away this week.
Yes, right. I seen that, and that's too young, and it's so many young
35.
people that's dying. I know that's too young, man.
Yeah,
that's too young. And I bet you it's probably. I mean, it's been it's not been reported that much, but there's a lot of like people dying from like fentanyl and things like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I had a guy that on one of my movies that I did on, he was in the Detroit Boys and Crossover. His name was Young C. He was only 26 years old. Died from a fentanyl overdose. You know what I'm saying? I had another guy, one of my cousins, on my sister's side, he died of a fentanyl overdose. So, I mean, it's just, it's crazy, man. Like, these young people, man, this stuff they got out here now, man, is killer. You got to be careful. It ain't like just weed, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But this stuff is hard, you know what I mean? And it's killing a lot of people, and it's been unreported.
Are they highlight? How are they getting do these kids know it's fentanyl, or are they doing cocaine and the fentanyl is mixing the cocaine? Is fentanyl and weed? Like where?
What? See, the thing is like a lot of people are cutting drugs with fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? It only takes a little bit to put in there. People, I mean, they've been real creative. They got pill pressers and everything. So they could put anything inside. You think you're getting a pill that might be, some Xannies or whatever the case may be, and they can market however they want to. Like you could just, they put this powder in this thing and then they just push it down, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a smasher thing that puts the powder together, and you create pills off of that, them pill pressers.
Are they putting the fentanyl on the weed?
Yeah, they can. I mean, man, it's like it's no telling, man. Like they doing all kinds of things and lacing it with stuff and all that, man. It's a crazy time. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because just think, I mean, just back in like the day, the only thing you get, you get some stinky weed or something, something basic like that, or whatever people was doing, acid, But this stuff here, man, is crazy.
Wow. Thank you for taking me to drug school. Let's talk about today's topic.
Okay. All right. Let's get to today's topic, y'all. Yeah. Okay. Man. Okay. In life's journey and finding a partner or mate, you have to find somebody that's ready to act right. And sometimes they're not ready to act right. And you may find somebody that checks all the boxes that you might be looking for, but they may not be ready to commit at the same time. And so during that time, like, our subject is, should you give your ex a second chance or spin the block? Like I said, you might be with somebody and it's about timing. It really is. Like sometimes people they're just not ready to act right at that particular time, and people can evolve. They can evolve. I'm a testament to that. You know what I mean? I went through so many different women. And like I said, along the way, there were so many different women that that were wife material. You know what I'm saying? But the mission that I was on, I was just trying to get the draws. You know what I mean? So I looked past all the good qualities and just wanted the sex from the people. And I overlooked some of the things. And like I said, and when I went through my self-reflection, there were women out there that they were really good women that we could have did some things. But, part of the time I was married. And then even when I wasn't married, I wasn't ready to commit. So it was like, I just wasn't ready. It was just bad timing for me. So once I got ready to actually to be serious, I actually went through some of the list of the people that I actually thought, that I could have made relationships with. You know what I'm saying? So I called some people like, that I had known, and that we was, we might have been, right there, but it just wasn't all the way right. So I called some people like, what's going on? How you doing? Checking up on them, and just to see if maybe I could get that flame reignited. But it was too late. You know what I'm saying? I was already categorized like a certain thing. I may have inflicted some pain, and they quite frankly were not willing to take that chance with me. But like I said, if they would have taken me back, they would have gotten the best of me. You know what I'm saying? They would have, but they just couldn't see it because they could only remember me from the person that I was. And like I said, and I'm gonna be real, like there was something I've gotten proposed to by a female before. Okay. Mm-hmm. But the thing is about it is, I mean, she wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, she got on her knee and everything. And I was like, you're a hoe.
See, ladies, don't embarrass yourself.
What are we doing here? Like, I'm because like, just from knowing her and all that, and the things that like we did together, and what I'm saying, and we did a lot of things, exploration together and all that stuff. I couldn't look at her in that way. There's no way from the things that we did in the past. There's no way that I could look at her as a wife material. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to watch what you do. So yeah, she actually got on her knee and proposed to me. She ain't had no damn ring or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But but she was just, she proposed to me after, because I had known her for a while, whatever the case may be. But I was like, man.
Oh my gosh. Man, that's crazy. Man. Y'all will sit here and be like, oh, go ahead. She'll be like, no, I don't want to do it because I'll look different. No, go ahead. It's cool. Go ahead. It's cool. I ain't going to look at you different. Then they do it. And then it's like, no, you did this. I ain't trying to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Crazy gaslighters.
So it's hard. So like I said, the person but people can change, man. Like just certain things. Like I understand, how, like I said, the people that I try to talk to and go through, and I could understand why they didn't, because they didn't believe that I had changed. But I'm a completely different person than I was. If you than like 10 years ago, I mean, come on now. I'm like, my mind is completely different. Like I'm just the way my whole outlook. And that's the thing in a person's life, man. It's a journey, man. And you start off at one point and you end somewhere else. Now there are some people that like they always, they just always been the same since high school and they haven't changed. But certain people in certain cases, y'all messed up. Y'all missed out on a good catch. You know what I mean? Y'all could have been happy, but you didn't believe me.
I am a firm believer in what's meant for you is meant for you. If you are supposed to have something, it'll be for you and it'll work. Every time I've tried to force things, I'm not even talking about relationships in particular, but just things in life. If I try to force it, it fell apart. It didn't feel right. It just didn't work. But whenever I allowed something to naturally happen, to organically happen, it was easy. There was no issue. It was way better than the option that I was considering before. So that was a side conversation. But to get back to the topic at hand, should you give your ex a second chance? So at first, earlier in my early years, I would have said yes. I would have said yes, absolutely, because people change, right? They can change, they can be different, you can grow, you can mature, yada, 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 right? And the amount of people I think who really change and who try to circle back and they're truly genuine, I don't know. This is off of my bullshit amateur. I have no real stats for this. I'm just basing this pure off of life experience, which I don't, normally do, but this is pure life experience. I feel like most of the people who try to double back, they're not really serious about this individual. They're more so trying to settle because they're afraid of, hey, I've already had this relationship with you. I already know what type of person you are. I know this, I know that about you. I'm gonna make it work with you. Versus, oh no, I really want to be with this person. I don't want to let this person get away. I don't think. And then there are times where there are people who they actually, like you said, they realize that this has always been the person. I was immature. I'm gonna break it out the kinks, work it out, and then give this person another chance. I think that amount that is really genuine versus the amount that's just I'm just gonna settle is much smaller, in my opinion. But I would love to hear other people and see what they would like to say about that because I am curious about it. But today, I don't think I would spin the block with none of my exes. And I think in order for you to make that decision, you have to use this is where your discernment come in and who they are as an individual. Have they grown since the last time you've been together? Right? So for instance, if they had like anger issues, have they sought counseling to resolve that? Have they got to the root cause of the issue? No, they're just like, oh, I don't get as angry as I used to. And you're like, well, what kind of work you did? I'm just not angry anymore. That kind of might be a no to me. It would really depend on what type of changes he made. But I kind of feel like I'm a one and done type of individual. It's like if you go to a job and you get fired from that job, yeah, you might be better down the road, but you kind of left that impression on that job. So you just, if anything, that job helped you become a better individual. So you could be better for the next person because you kind of damaged this person. And it'll never be the same because that'll always be in the back of my mind about the time you did X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
I mean, and that's because people complain about, well, I don't want you to keep throwing things in my face. And I feel like if you can't get over that, you will keep throwing it in that individual's face and you guys will never be okay. And it's always going to be fractured just because you just couldn't get over it. And instead of you being honest and saying, look, how you did me was really dirty. I'm over this. I'm cool. Like, I'm not mad at you anymore, but it can't happen. It can't happen between us. That's what I would say.
I see. See, this is the thing too. Like, I think that a lot of times, especially with Black women, right, and Black men too, I'm not gonna say that. People have so much pride, and a lot of times they have to save face. Like, you probably didn't dog this guy to your friends so much that if you took him back, to your peers, they'd be like, "What did you were just talking about this guy?" You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? So I think that plays a big part in it too, is pride in trying to save face. Because like I said, I think, and that's why I don't really like dating women, or I didn't. I'm married now, but before I didn't like dating women that had like a lot of female friends and stuff like that, because they were so influential on their decision making. And I'm not trying to, I ain't gotta like, now I gotta impress not only you, but the whole crew. I'm not, no, I don't, I've always stayed away from women with their girls cliques and stuff like that, because it was always, and like I said, if you did have an opportunity in her heart that she might want to take you back, then she got to go through counsel with her friends. And they, remember, a lot of times when stuff happens to people, you may forgive the person, but your friends will not. And that could be a big, influential decision on whether they'll take you back or not. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the thing. And then like, this one time, like I was dating this female, she was bisexual, you know what I'm saying? And it was just kind of weird, man. Like I said, she had a best friend and stuff like that. And at the time, what I'm saying, I thought it was kind of exciting, what I'm saying? Like, hey, she bisexual. And then, she was telling me like, yeah, if you want to, me and you, I'm saying, we can have sex with my friend, I'll do it for you at least once or twice a year. I was like, oh, word? Yeah, hey, she can't, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it was hard to trust her because she was so like she was cool and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, she could have hit everybody in the room. Everybody in the room might have hit that. Male or female, you feel me? So I was like, she was cool. She had some great qualities and stuff like that. But I just couldn't do it because, like I said, you got to watch women and men with this girl. And then, like I said, once we stopped talking, like we had like a little incident. We went out of town together. Some stuff happened. We got to a little argument, and then she ghosted me or whatever, which is cool. Thank you. And then months down the line, what I'm saying, she tried to hit me up like, like, how you doing? Are you talking to someone now? And this and that, what I'm saying? Because I miss you and this and that. Yes, I am talking to someone. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that was it. You couldn't go back. You know what I mean? No, I couldn't go back. Because like I said, there are certain things that might be deal breakers. And we're going to go through this too. There's certain things that people can do that may be deal breakers, which, you can't take them back, but other things might be workable a little bit. But there are certain things that it'll break the deal and actually you spinning the block with them. You know what I'm saying? Let's go through some of these. Okay. All right. First of all,
real quick before we jump in, we got two comments. Okay. Garfield lost to the third. He said, "No, F that. You know what?" I assume that's how he said. I don't know, Garfield. I'm sorry if I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong words. But I did my best. All right. H, no. F that. What? I think that's how it goes. I got you, Garfield. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Georgina Mendez. That's why you have to be careful what you share too. I agree. Can't overshare as if you go back. It's kind of go hard. That was my part, Georgina. Yours was better.
Right.
I agree. I mean, I agree with Garfield. Don't double back. And Georgina, that's I was careful over what I shared with my friends, but I was in a domestic situation, so I probably should have shared a bit more. But let's go into what you got going on there, Chuck.
Okay, so let's just go through some things. Like I said, people sometimes are not like exactly. They may not. When you were in a relationship with them, they may not have been complete. They may have still had some growing to do. So let's just go through a couple of things that may be deal breakers or things that you would think that would that you could work through as far as somebody coming back. Okay, first of all, let's start with the number one thing. A cheater. If somebody cheated on you, do you think, down the line that you might be able to bring, that you might be able to revisit that maybe later, that they may not be a cheater anymore or whatever the case may be? Do you think you could ever
That's a
build that?
loyalty thing. Cheating is a loyalty thing for me. It's not even more so like desire sexually. It's a loyalty thing. Like that's an easy loyalty thing. Not like if you get in front of the police and like they're applying tons of pressure, you might have to do 80 years in prison, that I can see why you might fall in that scenario. But we're talking about pussy. You can't say no to pussy. So that would be kind of, I don't know if I could really, I couldn't do it because I'd always be like, go fuck her over there. It would be hard for me to get out my head.
Really? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think like when, young men especially, when you're younger, I mean, you got a lot of hormones going and stuff like that, especially like in your 20s and your early 30s, man. And a lot of times people don't develop that penis discipline. You know what I'm saying? Where
you're right.
They can't turn down sex. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like seriously, like, they out here and, and it's a lot of women and the whole setup is messed up anyway, the way the society is. You know what I'm saying? There's so many, like the way women dress. It's very sexually suggestive. The way y'all dance, twerking is the number one dance. You know what I'm saying? Out there shaking y'all behind, half naked. That's enticing to some people. So if you don't have any type of penis discipline and not be able to turn down any sex, then you're gonna have a hard time staying faithful. You know what I mean? And that's what it was when I was younger. Like, hey, look, I'm gonna hit that. I ain't gonna leave none on the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit that. So don't come around me acting like that.
Oh my goodness. So, I amended 25 and under. I'll let it go. 25 and under, I'll let it go. So I'll amend 25 and up, and
yeah. So that's why I say like. But like I said, I mean, as you get older, your priorities change. You just, you turn into a different person. But yeah, I think, if I had a woman that cheated on me or even like I told you with the bisexual chick that was a little bit, on the edge here a little bit. I couldn't do that.
It'd be hard.
I couldn't do that. I'll hit it again. I'll hit it.
Yeah, we have sex,
but nah, it ain't gonna be no. I just can't trust. I just can't trust it. I just can't. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's like the lady who's a mistress, and she was a mistress, and the dude she was sleeping with, they were married, and him and his wife, they got a divorce. So now he's looking at his mistress to like he wants to be with her. She's like, "Oh no, you're a cheater." He's like, I was cheating with you. Like, I wasn't in a relationship. You were, and you're a cheater. Nah. So it kind of has like that effect to it. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Next one.
Wow. I mean, but that's the thing. Like I said, it's easy being the side piece. I mean, because you only got like maybe one task. You just having all the fun. You having, y'all having the good new sex. Y'all, y'all getting wine and dine 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying? Whereas the person at home is dealing with all of the, all of the real stuff, the bills, him snoring, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Health issues, whatever the case may be. So all you could do is just have fun with it. So no, they don't want that responsibility. You can't turn that in, like I told you, remember, I told you there was this one particular female that I used to mess with, right? When I was married, right? She stayed in Detroit. And I used to go up there. We had a great time on this. We had a great time. Every time I went to Detroit, it was on. She rolled out the red carpet for me. You know what I'm saying? So, we'd go to the casino. We would have a great time together. And after me and my wife had separated, and we had separated way before we got divorced. But, I was like, what? Instead of, we just kicking it like for 2 days, we're going to do like a 5-day little setup. You know what I mean? We're going to kick it and have a great time. Man, please. After that second day, I couldn't wait to get away from her. Straight up. I couldn't wait to get away from her. And I was like, she was an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? She started running her mouth. I ain't talked to her since.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, exactly. So that 1 or 2 night stuff, that little setup, that's easy. That's just sex and having fun, and then you leave it. But when you're dealing with the real person, it's a completely different thing, man. For real.
Yeah, man. Some people are like that. They just like, I don't want any. That's no strings attached. I get it.
Right.
I get it.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's keep it rolling.
Okay.
What about somebody that was a former drug addict? Could you do that one? Like if they, if they like over time, maybe if they, they reformed and they went to the rehab and they came back and and then they used to be skinny, now they buff, or now they thick. I mean, you can't do it.
No, again, that's like, I think that's amazing to be able to go through that struggle and that addiction and to be able to beat it. I think that's amazing because it's so hard, because that stuff really can have a hold on you. And it's just that in my family, I had so many people who were on drugs, who really lost their lives, who really destroyed a lot of their lives of their children. And that was just something as a kid that I could never get past. Like I was talking to this one guy, and let me tell you, like, he's a nice guy. He's not like a perfect catch. So this wasn't many things. It wasn't like this was the only thing. And I was like, no, this was just kind of like the cherry on top, where it's like, oh, thank God. Okay. Cause I don't want to fuck with you. But he had talked about, he had did drugs. He had did drugs for many years. And he was like a year clean, or 2 years, or it was a year or two clean. And that was just too close to me, because I will stress you out. Like I am a stressful individual. You gotta know your weaknesses. You might say, champagne, stop being stressful. I don't want to risk that. It's a part of the champagne experience to stress you out. But like I would push that man back to a life of drugs, and I don't want to be responsible for that. So I see it, man. Golly.
So that's a no for you?
That's a no for me. What about you, Chuck? You doing it?
Well, for me, a person that I've never taken one drink of alcohol, I've never taken one puff of a cigarette or weed, never done any drugs, this would be kind of hard for me. And I've dealt with people that were like alcoholics, and especially this one particular lady, she was a nut. Like, I mean, she was an alcoholic. Like, listen, man, she would come home from the bar at night, right? I met her at the post office. she would come home after the post office and start banging dishes. Get up, nigga! Ding, 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 ding. Bro, if I stay in this, I'm gonna kill this mother. Let me get the fuck up out of here. You feel me? She was a fucking nut. You hear me? For that night, I had to lock myself in the bathroom and lay on the floor until the morning, until I could leave the next morning. Because I'm talking about, man, look, no, I'm not, I've never done drugs. It's, stuff like that. I mean, and that's the thing too. Being a drug addict is a lifelong struggle too. Like my dad, I mean, he had got addicted, to crack, and he struggled with that to the day he died. And I've just seen his struggle. So there are there are highs and lows with that. And it's always, if you get caught slipping, it could come back and get you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It could come back and get you if you actually, if you get caught slipping. So for that to have that monster on their back, you know what I'm saying? And it depends on how deep it goes too. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, they've been out here a lot, like, and some people, and yeah, I've found out later that somebody had been previously, an addict or whatever the case may be, because and they had like and I ain't trying to be funny, but they had a weird smell to their vagina, like it was like their pH was off. I'm like, what is this, man? This is nasty.
It changes.
Yeah. So, I'm saying, like, for that, I mean, I guess it depends on what drug it is, you know what I'm saying? And even like people that even smoke weed, I had females that was weed heads and stuff like that. And it was like, since I didn't smoke any weed, that was like a social distance that we had. and we just couldn't relate on that level. And that's all they did was smoke weed. So we didn't connect. And she really, I think she needed a dude that smoked so that she could smoke with him and they can like share the bag together and all that kind of stuff. And I just wasn't on that, you know what I'm saying? And I did date with somebody that lived with me that smoked weed and cigarettes, but they had to smoke it on the back patio and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, like if you're a big time, drug, it's just for me. Since I don't smoke or drink, it's hard for me on that level. So on the drug addict part, I can try to help you get clean or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I can't really do it. If you was a former drug addict and, I don't know, that's a tough one for me. You know what I mean? It just depends.
It would be a lot for me.
Yeah. I don't think but okay, so let's go with this one. I bet you'll take this one back, guaranteed. Okay, all right. What if your ex? His money wasn't right at the time.
I knew he was gonna be money related. And
then he got his paper right. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, Champagne, what's up? Jump on the team. Would you give him a second chance? Because maybe, when he was younger, he wasn't motivated. And they say that most black men's earning power don't really get at its height until they get into their 40s or early 50s. That's normally at the height of their earning power. So would you, if somebody that you dated, you said you have a money standard that if they got their paper right and, you didn't, would you give them another chance?
So you are incessantly trying to paint me as a gold digger. So I'm going to walk into this trap, but I'm going to say a couple things. One, I have never in the history of Champagne life ever dumped a man because he did not make enough money. All right. That's never happened. Okay. One. Two, in your theory, if we broke up because some idiot Champagne broke up with this guy because he did not have enough money, but he was a good guy, but didn't have any money. Now all of a sudden he has all this money and he's still a good guy and he's still interested in me. Yes, I would go back to him if that's the case. But if I broke up with him and he didn't have money then, I probably didn't break up with him because of the money factor. It was probably some type of moral flaw or characteristic. So if he came back and he had more money, but that flaw or characteristic is still there, it's a solid no. It's a hard pass. Hard, and I've done it. Like money is not necessarily it doesn't only sway me. It's an additional thing that I need. But I've met guys who had large pockets, like deep pockets, very deep pockets. But there were character and moral flaws that you peeped, and it was like, oh no, you're not a good person. Yeah. But I've met guys who had some nice pockets, and they were very kind and very generous. Come call your girl. Let's go out. I'll pay for everything. Okay. So yes. If he had no money and he do you hear that?
No, what is that?
The police.
Uh-oh.
I know. Like, are they pulling me over?
No, what hood you in?
My mom's
hood.
Their lights on and then they kind of got on the side of me and they slow down and they pull it off. I hope I don't get arrested for podcasting while black. That would be crazy to get arrested for. Yes. So what about you, Chuck? You taking her back? She got money?
For me, man, I'm telling you, like, I done dealt with so many bum ass chicks. You know what I'm saying? And listen, it wasn't because of that they didn't have no money. It was their whole attitude. That's why they was bums. You know what I'm saying? Because they had a messed up attitude and they wouldn't follow instructions, or they just didn't have the aptitude to actually go and apply themselves. You know what I'm saying? So and like I said, and quite frankly, those type of women are the easiest to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got your stuff going on and she don't have her stuff going on, then you can control the situation easier because she needs things. You know what I'm saying? She might not have a car, or she might, she might not just have basic stuff. Then, hey, I'm telling you, hey, listen here. it's gold in the ghetto, dog. So it's been some nice. I done came across some nice things in the ghetto, dog. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Great sex. You know, straight up. So, so if they got money after that, it just depends on the type of attitude that they had. Some people, when they get money, I see people start, especially when black people start making money, they start getting God complex. And then, you start hearing, princess, I'm a boss now and things like that. So if you start getting money and you start having these types of attitudes, I can't do nothing with that. I'm not trying to get on somebody, who got that big ego like that or whatever the case may be. If you humble and things like that, and, we could grow together or whatever, and, you willing to, partner up with me and we could do things together, then yeah, that's fine. But if you got a messed up attitude with your money and, and like I said, man, this one girl, man, look, like, she came to one of my movies and stuff back in the day and stuff like, when she went to the last one I did, Crossover to Win Again, right? So she came over to the movies, she had her girl. She was like a director at like at one of the colleges, right? So she had paper. She stayed out like in Canal Winchester. She had a big old mansion, like a 5-bedroom mansion and stuff like that, right? So anyway, she came out to the movie. I showed her, and she was impressed with my movie and things like that, and whatever, I made an impression on her, and, we kicked it in a couple of times. So I guess I passed her litmus test, you know what I mean? So then, she invited me to the crib. So when it was time for us to, have sex, she took me to the side crib. She didn't take me to the main bed. She took me to the side crib, dog.
Oh, she treated me like a hoe.
Yeah, they treated me like, man, what? You know what I'm saying? So after I hit it, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I can't do this, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna treat me like, man, you can't take me to the real bedroom, dog. No.
Oh my gosh, how dare she treat you like you treat other people?
Exactly. What is she thinking about?
Oh my God. You know what? You bring up I dated this guy who was a real life bum. Like, he had no money. He didn't have a job. He lived with his parents, lived in their basement. Like, every time his parents had a place, he lived with them all the time. And if he didn't live with his parents, he lived with another chick. So this is how like much of a bum that he was. So I was thinking, but I liked him because we always had amazing conversation for the time. Like, we talked about a lot of stuff. There was some, like, he was a hood nigga. So hood niggas, sometimes their logic makes no sense, but you just, for the most part, he was a smart hood nigga. I liked him. He had that flavor. And he wasn't like a rah-rah type of dude. He lived in the hood,
intelligent hoodlum. Right.
He was cool.
Right.
Okay, so we had a great time, but like, he was always a bum. He never paid for anything. And then he got mad at me one time. We went out to dinner because I asked him, like, why don't you get a job? And like, you would have thought I told him his sex is horrible. He was like, you hurt me so bad. And I was like, for telling your ass to get a job? Damn. But I didn't know I was getting finessed by a Dusty. So years later, if he were to come back into my life and he's like, hey, I got this $1 million, right? I want to give you 1,000. I just want us to be together. I would take the $1,000, but then I would tell him no, because he owes me so much money from back in the day that this is his repayment plan. And, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, man. And it's mainly because of other characteristics that he had that makes him not really a good partner. So it would would take more than money.
I see. Okay.
Maybe jewelry.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, there's a lot of reasons why things don't work out in relationships. And a big thing too, can be family also. You could have people in your family hating on a relationship. And then, what if were you ever with anyone that his family did not approve your relationship, or vice versa? So that was your, so you broke up with them, and maybe like later on you realized that, hey, this was a good person. Maybe I should have, give him another chance and not let my family or peers influence my decision on whether or not I should have stayed with that guy.
Man, no, Chuck. And let me tell you how I can answer that so quickly with such precise. That's the word. I don't think that's the word, but one day, periodically, I'll just sit down and just kind of rerun the Rolodex of niggas that I've dated in the past. Right, my Rolodex of things to
Your
see
whole
like
your Holodex. That's what
my
I call that.
Holodex, right? My Holodex. And I go through it to see like, is there any guy that I dated? And I look back one to see like did I miss? Like, is there somebody who I messed up with or who I missed out on? Like I'm looking back and I'm like, no, that's really not. All those niggas are still single just like me. And they've had girlfriends, babies, been married, they all single just like me. So I'm just saying I'm not the problem. But two, no, everybody's parents left me. I'm a lovable individual. What do you want me to say? You want me to lie to you, Chuck? You know who I am.
So you ain't never been in no relationship where it was your fault that y'all broke up. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh my God. Woo. See, that's sociopathic. I mean,
I know, right? I'm trying to look at things. The last one, it was just more so of it wasn't like I did anything. It was time for us to end. It wasn't like a you did this or I did this. He wasn't interested in me for the long run. I was just something that helped him out for the period of time. So I didn't do anything there. The one before that, he had issues he had to work through, but he really just wanted to be back with his baby mom. And oh, you know what? Okay, when I cheated on my 16-year-old boyfriend. Yeah.
No, back in high school, huh?
I learned that, you know what? And that taught me right then and there. That was a lesson that taught me right then and there to leave the dance with the one who brought you.
Well,
I know
somebody else stole you from him?
Yeah, I was dating my little bum ass future boyfriend, but at the time he was like really, really popular in high school. So that he was popular, he was older, he had all the stuff going for him. So I had this huge crush on him. And then he left and went to college. So then I met my first boyfriend, and Chuck, like, this is why I probably not find a man, because I did this man so dirty, and I am not proud of this. I feel so bad because he was.
Hold on, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. He was like one of the best guys I know in Tuesday. He was a really, really good guy. And I thought this other guy who I met first, I thought he really liked me. For me, I thought we had the same feelings. I didn't know he was a dude and dudes just try to bone. But this 60-year-old guy, he really liked me. He brought me like gifts for my birthday. This nigga ain't buy me shit. He ain't never had no money. This guy used to take me out to Red Lobsters. Like, we had a great time. And I learned that lesson young when I was in my teens. And when I saw how bad I hurt him, and then how I was left with this bum who didn't do anything, who never provided, I paid for him all the time. So it was a lesson I learned when I was in my teens. And when I got older, I just tended not to be problematic in my relationship. So that's why I say I haven't. And I've only had 2 adult relationships. So it's not like I've had a lot. Because I'm very selective. I'm very selective about relationships. I feel like people get in relationships willy-nilly with people just because they like them. They don't look at, is this something, a good partner? Is this person a good communicator? They don't look like at the moral characteristics of this individual. And that's something that I've always just looked at people. You're moral.
I feel you. Yeah. Like I said, virtue is more valuable than money. So make sure that you remember that.
Yes.
And like I said, it's really hard to find that person for you. And sometimes, the timing, you might have met your soulmate, but they just weren't ready, and you couldn't convince them to actually change their ways. And so you guys, you could have made it to forever. Ain't that Usher song? We almost made it to forever, but you just didn't want to act right. So, you know what I'm saying? So listen, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We about to be up out of here. And final thoughts. It just, I think, like I said, if it depends on what it is. Like, if it's something that's manageable, you should give them a second chance. But if not, I would say, I wouldn't revisit it, because it's hard to, once you break that glass, it's hard to put it back together. I've said that so many times. once that trust and stuff is gone, or they've done you wrong and you got a little bit of pain there, it's really hard to, put it right back together like it should be. And it may not never be perfect again, because you'll always have that in the back of your mind that this person may go wrong again. Any final thoughts?
There are millions of people out there to see, baby. Move around. No need to circle the block. Drive that road, baby.
All right, y'all. Hey, so that's our time today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. So come back, same place, same time next Monday, and check out the Thursday Night Therapy. Also, at Thursdays at 7 p.m. And we appreciate y'all. So please like and subscribe to this channel, like you said. So until then, we'll take care. Peace.